Halls of Torment is what would happen if Diablo and Vampire Survivors had a baby. It's the classic bullet heaven formula, but with a few unique twists. In this video, I'm going to show you a complete run through Halls of Torment all the way to the first final boss in the first area of the game, and there's a little bit of commentary as I go. If you enjoy this video and if you think this game looks like fun, you can find it and play the prelude right now for free on Steam. Thanks for watching. So in this video, I think we are just going to see if we can kill the final boss. I have quite a bit of meta progression. As you can see, I can kill the base skeletons in a single hit, which is incredibly effective. What we're doing right away is we're prioritizing getting down to that scroll, because that's going to give us a lot of damage and give us a few more options. But I do like just grabbing some of this initial XP. We're going to take movement speed though early on, make our way down to that scroll. So just killing things on the way. I'm not going to worry too much about backtracking. I can take a little bit of damage because I do have passive health regen. I'm going to take some crit, because eventually the crits are going to be really important for clearing things quickly. I'm just using the auto attack right now, so I just hit right click and then my character will keep on swinging wherever I point my cursor. And having it just kind of saves your wrist a little bit. I am going to go for the needles. It'll just let me take things out in multiple directions. Gives a little bit more range, but it still is something that controls a little bit. And definitely weapon proficiency is the way to go here. Prioritizing any of those upgrades that give multiple stats, just going for the most efficient upgrades as possible. And we're going to start making our way up now towards the other side. And you'll notice I do have equipment already. I've unlocked the Well Keeper, which means I can unlock equipment to use. So my starting run actually has a little bit of equipment, which is going to be incredibly helpful. And hopefully we can pick up something even more useful. And I can choose to dump off some gear. And I might do that. So now we have some slimes. You'll notice they are dying very quickly. Having that meta progression is really useful. Being able to kill them in sort of one hit or one hit and one needle is really important. And we have that first boss already. So we're just going to start slowly backing up. Seeing if we can cleave as many of these down as we can. Vaguely trying to work towards the item at the top, but I still want XP. As soon as this boss goes down, I'm going to probably make more of an effort to go up. So at this point, I don't really like any of these. I've tried Dragon's Breath the least. I find it isn't effective because it travels so slowly, typically. But we're gonna see how good it is. Like, I don't like that I can outpace the Dragon's Breath. Well, it doesn't seem to do a ton of damage, but it is a fairly big AoE. And with some upgrades, lighting things on fire, and the right builds and passives from items, there's probably room. Well, this efficient stance. It is efficient, nothing else. We're definitely making the beeline for that item up there, I have been taking a little bit of unnecessary damage. Gonna prioritize avoiding these slimes. The slimes do move a little bit erratically, meaning they are, as a result, they tend to hurt you a little bit. So I'm just gonna take out some of those chests there, get some of that health back with that. And this skeleton wave is a really good farming wave. I'll take dedication. Getting a little bit of defense is nice. It's gonna reduce the chip damage I take and increase the amount of healing from health pots. Maximum health is sometimes good for that. We'll take a burn chance. I don't know, I've never really leveled up Dragon's Breath, but a burn damage can be pretty good. But with the swordsman, I've had the most luck just focusing in on getting really powerful sword attacks. And we're going to upgrade the needles. I do like the needles. They take a while to get online, but with upgrades, the needles can be pretty powerful. I mean, that's true for any weapon, I suppose, and that's probably why I don't necessarily love Dragon's Breath, is because I just don't have the upgrades to make it good, but it'll probably become good once I put points into it. If you keep focusing on crit with the needles, you end up getting a passive unlock that gives you 9% crit, so pretty good. It's just for the needles, but with all the other crit buffs you get and crit base damage and things like that, you do eventually get really powerful needle shots that shoot very quickly and they pierce in a line, so they're not bad at just helping you do damage. Speed and range is absolutely what we want. Getting some more range would probably be beneficial. Just in general, it would help both the sword and the Dragon's Breath. I think that's one of the weaknesses of Dragon's Breath. It just doesn't seem to do anything, because if I'm outpacing it, walking towards things with my sword, then it's not going to do anything, because my sword will kill everything before the Dragon's Breath does any damage. But in this situation where I'm going to be backing up, it could be pretty good. So I'm just going to slowly back away from this boss. Take a little bit more back there. And hopefully we can set him on fire a few times. Just keep backing up. I do turn to make sure I hit the imps as they come in, because the imps will focus you, but if you face them, they turn around. So this is defense boots. I already have movement speed boots. Health capacity, health regen. I already have the killing an enemy has a chance to heal me, which I think is a lot better. So I'll take that item for now. Gives me a huge heal when I kill a boss, but a lot of these like elite enemies I find don't actually trigger it. I'm not exactly sure which ones are considered to be bosses. Alright. He's dead. We get another item. Ooh, a ring. Summons a rat every 30 seconds. The rat targets a random enemy attacks at once, applying a weaken debuff for 15 seconds. The rat attacks 30 enemies before disappearing. Each second, your damage is increased by 25% up to 100. The bonus is reset when you perform an attack with your main weapon. Okay, this might combo better with Dragon's Breath. This rat ring is kind of neat. So the weaken debuff actually increases the damage they receive. This glove is kind of cool too. I think it would mean turning off my auto attacks, and my auto attacks don't necessarily have big enough range for this to really be good, but at the same time, each second, so every couple seconds, I could get a 50% damage bonus. Just destroy. Or I guess what this does is you could just not use your main attack. and it would double the damage of all your other things. And then every once in a while, if you need to, you could choose to reset. um, these long finger gloves are giving me all the pickup I currently have, though. And it's really useful. I'm gonna try the ring just because it lets me keep all my other stuff. And because I've never seen the ring before. So I have my little rat running around. I don't think the rat is especially good, but kind of fun. Hack speed? Sure. I wonder how many rats I could get out at once. It seems to... I have 2 going right now. I'll take the pickup range there. That's a really good option. Ideally, you want to take the pickup range when there's nothing meaningful available in terms of special upgrades. So, feels bad sometimes to kind of waste an upgrade. The Dragon's Breath could potentially be doing some work against these shield people. Got my rats going. More pickup range. Alright. If I get a little bit more attack range on the Dragon's Breath, I can see it being good. And projectile speed. Quick hands. I'm just gonna maximize pickup range. This becomes really valuable in terms of scaling because it lets you get experience faster and more of it. It's less of it sitting around on the ground. As the swordsman, it almost guarantees that I pick up every single thing that's being dropped. %10 damage is always the right choice there, I feel. I could slowly make my way towards the well. The well's not a bad spot to fight. And then I just have the option of, as we approach the end, just dumping an item in the well. Okay. Weapon proficiency 3. Slightly bigger sword. Migrating over there during the slimes might not be a bad idea. Slimes aren't amazing XP, and they're kind of annoying. You do pop them very fast, though. Maybe it is best to just farm them a little. Move really slowly. Kill this wizard. Kill this wizard. These mages can do a lot of damage. Even more attack speed on the Dragon's Breath. Does seem to be going a lot further now because of that. I do like transfixion. Even more weakness. Alright. Really getting the crit hit chance and damage on the needles now. Seems like these rats actually kind of block you. Also, these rats are really interesting in terms of what they look like. Damage bonus. The dog wave. Looks suspiciously like a rat to me. The well's up a little bit. Take more needle range and firing speed. Yeah, now we're starting to get those machine gun needles. Crit for a couple hundred. So we are definitely scaling more than sufficiently. Just more damage. 10% more on everything. Just gonna keep slowly kind of going in a circle, following the same way the dogs are going. We will take the 40% burn chance. Now I feel like our dragon's breath has a significant cleave potential. Yeah, more range. And we've completely wiped out a wave, but now we're back to skeletons. And we have the Death Knight. I don't know if that's what he's actually called, but that's what I call him. Okay, we're at the well as well. Yeah, additional projectiles is always good. Oh. I don't... Oh, oh no. It's the rats. I'm gonna send them up because they're just gonna trigger that well over and over. Interesting little glitch we've discovered there, that the rats count as a player entity, which is potentially why they were blocking my model, but also that they're triggering things like the well. Now my question is, because I've gotten rid of the rat ring, but I still have these rats out, are they gonna go away? Like, is the thing that despawns the rat conditional on me having the ring? In which case, do I now just have permanent rats? Maybe I broke the game. Which is kind of fun. But we're still in a prelude, an early version of the game, so these are to be expected. I'm gonna make sure I do a little dodge there. And yeah, just slowly backing up so I can really take advantage of that dragon's breath, hitting as many things as possible. Can't back up too much. I still see 3 rats, so we're gonna keep an eye on those rats. Well, I can get the rat ring again, but I think I'm gonna take the fire ring. So now I do fire damage and can light things on fire with my sword. And I don't know if that's good. I mean, if I have one of the other items that cares about lighting things on fire, that could be cool. Could really get a fire build going. I kind of wish I had that 2% damage for each burning enemy now. Although it would really only translate to like 4 to 10% damage at any given time, it seems. Maybe on some of the end waves it would be significant, but doesn't seem like it would be devastating. I took a little bit of damage there. And now I need to really focus on these wizards, because with all this mess of these shield skeletons, those projectiles are very threatening. So we're just going to make our way to the edge of this pack. Dodge as many as we can. This is where I wish I had lightning strike to periodically nuke one of these out of existence. Send that fire breath into the big pack of skeletons. Seems to work well. We'll do a little bit of range here as well to further that goal. Every couple of seconds, I'm looking up in the top right to see when my fire breath is about to go off, and then sending it at the big pack behind me, and then running away from the big pack. Okay, we'll take that. I think we just focus on clearing out these shield boys. I'm taking a little bit more damage, but because I have that armor that heals me per kill, or for every 10 kills, or 10% chance, I do end up just healing a ton. So damage isn't really too threatening. As long as I don't take too much of it at once, I can recover quite well. We seem to be getting plenty of XP. 20 base damage is absolutely something that we like. Once again, making sure I'm attacking the right targets and moving in the right direction. We have the boss right here. And at this point I'm going to take a little bit more defense, because I'm probably going to take a few hits during this wave. This wave is a little spicy. Ooh, a little bit more attack speed would be nice. I seem to not be able to clear these skeletons out. Well, I said I wanted attack speed. 30% physical damage, but I do... Let's see if that actually increases. So I was doing about 600 before. Yeah, I don't think that does anything for me. I do fire damage now. But I think... 625. Still doing 625. There we go, 9% crit chance on the needle. Okay, we're at the point now where we just need to focus on this boss. This is definitely a wave where you can take a lot of damage if you're not too careful. And I say I need to focus on the boss, but now I'm forced to back away. As long as I kill this boss before the next one spawns, we're good. Which we did. Right, now we have a much faster attack on transfusion. 40% is huge. We take a lightning strike because it starts actually contributing right away without needing a bunch of level ups into it. Nice. We are absolutely demolishing this wave. We'll get the additional burn effect chance. Really trying to avoid the green slimes as much as possible. And try to kill the dogs in sort of a predictive way. Knowing where they're the ones that are going to be hitting me first based on their spiral. We're still around half health. We've been there for a while. Kind of slowly going down. But we do clear enemies enough that we're not completely concerned. And this is definitely a wave where if you can survive this wave, you do pretty well. I'm killing things pretty well, but I'm taking damage. I want to get to a point where my health can start stabilizing a little bit more. And I think defense might be the key to that. I'm prioritizing these barrels as well. Just trying to get maybe health potion or something. And just hiding away so that the dogs are mostly coming from one direction instead of all around me. So I don't quite have the attack speed. And now we're at the boss. Okay. 60% faster needle firing speed is going to be a big deal. But we're just trying to dump attacks downrange. But as you can see, there's a lot of nonsense in the way. Just keep moving while killing those skeletons so the projectiles don't wreck me. Just keep sending that dragon's breath away from me, because that seems to actually be doing some good damage to the boss, because the boss sort of walks into it. I do need to get a little bit closer. I'm gonna take a little bit of health because we are kind of getting low. I think we're gonna be able to kill the boss. It's just survival is potentially suspect at this point. Alright, that boss. That's gonna make this a lot easier because now we don't have all those projectiles. And these slow moving dogs are very easy to deal with. Say that as I walk into them and take damage. I'm just gonna do a wide circle because I want to get back to that treasure chest. Treasure chest might have something juicy for me. See, and I have on killing a boss or elite, activate health regenerations for 60 seconds. Clearly, I didn't get any health regeneration, so. um, Trail fire to damage our enemies, which would be good. I mean, we have movement speed, which is nice. I think we're gonna take this though, because we have a lot of missing health right now. And I could be taking a little bit more health regen per second. Arguably not a terrible strategy, but I find you don't need a ton, and I was able to get a little bit, and I have a little bit through the meta progression, so sort of healing enough. And really it's the killing enemies to heal is what's providing the bulk of my healing. And I'm going to be able to heal a whole bunch on this skeleton wave. As you can see, I'm already back up to half and still healing. And now we're looking at some lightning strike, I think. I need more range. That dragon's breath just doesn't seem to quite do enough. My sword is definitely killing most of the enemies, but I mean, I can't complain too much. I think the dragon's breath ended up doing a lot of damage on the boss. We'll take even bigger lightning strikes. Lightning strikes just get to essentially delete a few enemies every second. Really just focusing on finding where those mages are hiding in the pack. Dealing with them. Because they definitely are the scariest. We'll take 20% attack speed. Absolutely. I need something like 100% increased range on it, though. I actually don't know what the final upgrades are. Oh man, it is satisfying killing all these skeletons. This is interesting. I think, yeah, I'll just go for max damage. Just want to be able to mow down my enemies. The smorgasbord of all the enemies we've killed so far. I think even more attack speed. Especially because those quick enemies coming in from all sides, I just want to be able to deal with as many as I can. And now we're at that interesting scenario too, because I took at that necklace. I'm actually doing more damage the lower I get, and then I kill things really fast, and then I heal really fast, and then it kind of ebbs and flows. As my damage goes down, I can't kill things quite as fast, and I get swarmed a little bit, and I'll take a little bit more damage. We'll take some base health because it sort of functions like damage for me. Because the more health I have that I can afford to lose, the more damage I do now. I almost want to be really low health when the boss spawns. I can do some damage right away. Not too low, because I don't want to instantly die. But I do have one revive available, which will let me potentially kill the last boss. The final boss. I've never actually done it before, though. I'll take some charge speed. Get those lightning bolts flying out. Those little stuns that they do are actually really helpful. in terms of letting me get into a good position so I can kill multiple enemies. All right. 40% charge speed we will take. Once again, I think the lightning is really, really good. Helps create holes. It doesn't require a bunch of upgrades to become viable, whereas I think some of these really need their upgrades, and if you don't get the upgrades, it's almost like a wasted spell. I think Dragon's Breath is kind of a waste. I find it just doesn't travel fast enough or far enough to ever actually do damage. "20 needle damage is a lot, and that's something that's going to help me take on the boss, whereas I won't need Transfixion, and I'm at 1 minute, so I want to make sure I'm getting my single target upgrades at this point. I'm really preparing for the boss, which is also why I'm upgrading Lightning, because Lightning is going to do good damage against the boss, because the boss will be the only target. And I don't need more range on Transfixion, because I just don't. 10% attack speed is great. Just get those attacks out. Ooh, took some damage, but that's okay. Kind of being at half health is probably a safe compromise. Still being low enough to get benefit from our necklace. And I didn't really mention it, but I did notice now, I kind of forgot to track, that my little rats running around are long gone. Even more attack speed. So they think they did their 30 weekends each and then ran away. Alright, I don't know if I'll be able to get enough XP here to level a second time. Or another time, rather. Oh, I did. Well, I don't need any of this. I guess I'll take some regen. Okay. Just gonna stand on the boss. 5, 4, I have a countdown above my head, and I'm going to die as soon as that goes off. But I revived. So now I'm back from the dead. And my lightning strikes are absolutely demolishing this boss. And I think we've done it. Oh, phase 2. Oh, hey, I got the trigger for my helmet. So now I'm healing 1% per second. Ow, which is why, even though I'm taking all this damage, I'm still healing. Defeat the Lord of Pain. You survived the Halls of Torment. Congratulations! We did it! We beat the game. Alpha version. Halls of Torment. Super fun. It's free on Steam. Just type in Halls of Torment. You can try the game right now. I highly recommend it. And yeah, thanks for watching.